The high-profile trial for a New Hampshire man accused of beating his 5-year-old daughter to death, then hiding her young body, is just weeks away. Adam Montgomery faces several charges, including second-degree murder and falsifying physical evidence in connection to the suspected murder of his daughter Harmony Montgomery, whose body has yet to be found. Harmony was reported missing in November 2021, nearly 2 years after investigators say she was killed. The details surrounding the crime are heinous. Prosecutors say Adam beat his daughter to death in a fit of rage after a bathroom accident in the car, then moved her body in different hiding places in an effort to conceal her remains. As both the prosecution and Adam's defense attorneys prepare for trial, in the latest courtroom filing, the defense now says they want several pieces of key evidence to be kept hidden from the jury. The attorneys representing Adam say prosecutors plan to present what could be damning evidence against their client. They say prosecutors plan to share disturbing details that include Adam allegedly purchasing 40 pounds of pelletized limestone, another 40-pound bag of limes, a power grinder, a metal-cutting diamond blade, a lithium-ion battery and charger, all for the purpose to conceal Harmony's body. But in court documents filed by the state, it further explains the grisly and chilling details prosecutors say will help support them in trial. In a 12-page response to the defense motion, prosecutors say Adam's estranged wife, Kayla Montgomery, informed officers he purchased lime because he believed that would assist in decomposing Harmony's body and prevent her body from being found. Kayla also revealed to investigators that he had Harmony's body in a bag and that at one point he took the body out of the bag and into a hot shower to manipulate the body to put her in pieces. The documents go on to state investigators later obtained bank records from Adam and Kayla's shared account that revealed more. According to records, in February 2020, a cash withdrawal was made from the account at an ATM located directly across the street from the Home Depot where Adam worked. Officials say one cash purchase of limes was made on February 15, 2020. Another was made on February 26, 2020. Just one day later, on February 27th, prosecutors say there was a work order made for Adam's apartment to snake the drain of the bathtub. And according to more court documents, officers learned Adam disposed of Harmony's corpse between March 3rd and March 4th of 2020. Just 5 days after the ATM withdrawals and cash purchases were made at Home Depot, and 3 months after investigators believe she was killed. Authorities say in March of 2023, Kayla was able to match the bag used to conceal Harmony's body to the purchases Adam allegedly made at Home Depot back in 2020. Fast forward to 2024, ahead of his upcoming murder trial, lawyers for Adam are firing back against his estranged wife Kayla, saying she downplayed her role in disposing of Harmony's remains. His attorneys say Kayla actively assisted in the manipulation of Harmony's remains and knew full well a saw, blade, grinder, or battery were not used. The defense wants to block any mention of the 80 pounds of lime, a diamond blade, and the power grinder purchases from getting in front of the jury at the upcoming trial, where Kayla is expected to be a key witness. She testified previously as a state's witness in his 2023 weapons trial under a plea agreement.
Where do you currently reside?
The state prison for women.
And how long have you lived there?
Since November 2022.
Why do you live in the women's prison?
Perjury charges.
Were you convicted of those charges?
Yes.
And sentenced for those charges?
Yes.
Were you also charged with receiving stolen property?
Yes.
And those charges were dismissed as part of a... Were those
Yes.
charges dismissed as part of a plea agreement?
Yes.
And you admitted to lying to the grand jury?
Yes.
Did you admit... Apologies. Did you admit to lying to the grand jury?
Yes.
Do you understand the consequences of providing false testimony here today?
Yes.
The charges stemmed from an unrelated 2019 incident where Adam was accused of stealing and possessing a rifle and shotgun, then selling them as a previously convicted felon. While on the stand, Kayla testified Adam stole the weapons to swap them out for money or drugs. But she also gave insight into their home life in the months leading up to Harmony's death.
So focusing back on that time period, September, October 2019, what was your life like back then?
I was working up until November 2019 at Dunkin' Donuts. I would work 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Adam would be home with the kids while I'm at work. And he would drop me off and pick me up from work because I didn't have a license. And then after he would pick me up, I would be at the house with the kids, and he would leave some nights because we were using drugs.
When you say we were using drugs, what do you mean?
Like getting high, using heroin and crack and weed.
And when you say we were getting high and using heroin and crack and weed, who's we?
Adam and I.
And what was your drug of choice?
It was both heroin and crack.
Are you sober now?
Yes.
What did it take for you to become sober?
Going to jail.
I asked you about your drug of choice back then. What was the defendant's?
Heroin.
What did the defendant do for work back then?
He was home with the kids.
And he'd leave at night, you said?
Yeah, he would leave after I'd be home for a couple hours and go for rides.
Okay. Do you know, back then, how did you get your drugs?
I had money from my job, and that's what I remember up until we got kicked out, evicted from the house.
And you mentioned Harmony, Declan, and Seamus. How did you support them?
We had food stamps, and my income, which was barely anything at the time.
Adam was ultimately convicted in his weapons trial and sentenced to spend up to 6 decades behind bars. Before the judge handed down his sentence, Adam denied having anything to do with his 5-year-old daughter's death.
So I understand that I was found guilty by a jury, and I'm not here to dispute that at all. The only consideration that I ask of you this morning is for you not to consider anything as it relates to the case regarding my daughter Harmony. I did not kill my daughter Harmony, and I look forward to my upcoming trial to refute those offensive claims. Probably won't believe me when I tell you that I didn't wake up one morning and choose to become an addict. I don't want to be an addict. And I will spend my time in prison utilizing it to the best of my ability to change things about myself. I could have had a meaningful life, and I blew that opportunity through drugs. But I loved my daughter unconditionally, and I did not kill her. Please don't consider anything that relates to those charges. Only consider the facts to this case.
It was a different tune from Adam's 2021 police encounter, where body cam footage shows officers questioning Adam about his daughter's whereabouts. The footage is captured on December 31st, 2021, the day Manchester police first announced a missing persons investigation for Harmony, who hadn't been seen alive since 2019. Adam was found sleeping in a car in a parking lot when authorities caught up with him.
Ben's pulled asleep. We make contact right now. Show me your hands.
You guys want to code at all, or you guys good?
Keep your hands where I can see them. Step on out. Hey, keep your hands where I can see them.
What's going on?
What's your name, my man?
What? Adam.
Adam. You have anything on you?
No.
All right, come right over here.
What's wrong?
I'm just going to pat you down, make sure you don't have any weapons. Put your hands on top of your head, okay? On top of your head.
What's going on, though? What's the problem right now?
All right. Who's this in the car with you?
My girlfriend.
How long have you been back in New Hampshire?
I don't know, for like a day or two.
A day or two. Where were you before you were here?
With her name.
Sorry?
With her name.
With her name?
Why, what's wrong?
Whereabouts?
In common.
I'm Sorry?
Carmel, Maine?
Carmel, Maine? Where is that?
It's up north.
It's up north?
Yeah.
You sure you don't have anything on you?
Yeah, I don't have nothing on
Super
me.
crazy. I haven't seen you in a long, long time.
Okay, what's going on?
We got a couple detectives that are coming down to talk to you.
Okay. For what?
What's that?
For what?
Just like people are wondering where Harmony is.
Yeah, we don't want to talk to him.
Then that's something that you can discuss with them.
Can I just get a cigarette, please?
Not here to give anybody a hard time. I'm just trying to figure some stuff out.
I will. You keep coming to talk to me. Why can't you guys tell him I don't want to talk to him?
Well, you can have that conversation with them.
I don't want to have that conversation with them. And I don't want to.
People are concerned about stuff. But we want to make sure
Because
that
I'm not talking to the police about nothing. Am I under arrest?
right now you're being detained, yes. Not under arrest, but you're being detained.
Okay.
Any particular reason you don't want to talk to them?
So I don't talk to the fucking police.
What's that?
I don't. Should I call a lawyer?
Where's your phone at, my man?
Don't worry about it.
Once investigators arrived, Adam was asked about Harmony, but he refused to answer.
Wait, am I under arrest?
No, you're not. You're not. You don't have any warrants.
All right, I got nothing to say.
Adam, right? Montgomery.
Yeah.
Do you remember me from the Elliott Hospital from a while back, man?
Yeah, I got nothing to say.
Right. So, hey, man, the only thing we're trying to figure out is where Harmony is, okay?
Okay.
So, the concern is that she hasn't seen, right? You're not in trouble. Nobody said you're losing your daughter, okay? So I want to make that clear. Just want to let you know that my body can monitor, just like everybody else is being on video recording. So you just need to find out where she is. That's all I'm concerned about. I mean, you're not in any trouble right now that I know of.
Okay.
You have no warrants.
Okay.
So, where's your daughter so we can check on her to make sure that she's okay?
Right now, I have nothing to say to you guys.
But that's not what I'm just asking
Okay,
where she is.
I have nothing to say.
So you don't care if your daughter's okay or not?
I do. I listen. I have nothing to say.
Is your daughter?
If I'm under arrest, you guys can arrest me.
I'm not saying you're not.
Okay, I have nothing to say then.
You just don't care how your daughter.
I do. Obviously, I do. My kids.
Yeah.
About all my kids. Yeah, but other than that, I have nothing.
I remember you talking to me about it at the Elliott because when you were up there, you don't remember me, John.
Yeah, I do remember.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was there to help you out then.
I know.
I want to make sure you're doing okay.
I know you do. I know you will.
And I have a job to do. Like I said, you're not in any trouble. I'm telling you dead ass right now, you're not in any trouble.
Okay.
I care about how your kids are doing, okay?
Okay.
My job is to check on kids, all right?
John, I appreciate that. I told you. I remember you from up there. I don't have nothing else to say.
Later during Adam's police interview, he seemingly still played coy about any information regarding Harmony, and more so voiced his frustration about being picked up on assault charges rather than letting investigators know where his daughter is located.
We got a lot of worried people and scared people right now in the community. I know you're worried about the well-being of your daughter, and I kind of want to get ahead of this because I don't want you to be painted as a monster.
Well, that's what you guys are already doing.
I am?
No, we're not doing that. Oh, yeah.
Can you explain that to me?
That's what you guys are already trying to do, man.
Explain to me how I'm trying to make you, or whoever is trying to make you out to be a monster. Who's telling you that stuff? Is there somebody that I work with that told you that? Somebody you're close with, that they told you that?
No.
All right. Well, you understand this whole thing is getting a little out of hand. Would you agree?
Of course. But
So that's why.
no, it's just the way you guys are going about it.
And again,
Yeah,
I don't
not you specifically, but
Right.
yeah, nobody comes out there like that for a second-degree assault charge. Nobody. Been arrested for worse charges. They don't come out and throw fucking flashbangs at my girlfriend's car and ram us into the fucking guardrail. They don't do that for a second-degree assault charge.
again, you understand what the charges are, right?
Second-degree assault, right?
Yep.
Okay.
There's also an endangering the welfare charge
Okay.
and interference with custody. Okay,
So how did I interfere with custody?
So that paperwork that we served you the other day, you remember that?
Okay.
When they were in the alleyway, remember outside of on Lake Ave?
Yeah.
There's paperwork that you have to comply with. You understand that, right? We had that conversation, did we not? Right? So that's what that's all about.
So second-degree assault charge, what is this referring to?
Well, that's what we want to talk to you about.
Well, explain to me what, if I'm being charged with it, what the hell am I being charged with it for?
Well, your daughter had some injuries
What?
that you know about when you lived on Guilford Street.
No, I do not. What are you referring to?
Well, you were there, I wasn't, right?
What are you referring to?
I'm referring to her having some good marks.
What are you referring to?
Marks that were left on her by you.
Absolutely not. I have nothing else to say. But you're sitting there telling me that right off the rip that there was something wrong with my daughter because of me. No, that's bullshit.
Okay. So if your daughter had marks on her at some point when you lived over there, how would you explain those?
How would she have gotten those marks?
Well, I would love to know when that marks were there because DCYF came to my house multiple times.
Okay. And we know that they came there.
Right. And closed the case.
Okay. Do we know that DCYF is the flagship agency in the country?
No, but if there was significant marks like you're referring to, I believe they would have flagged something at that point, and they would have said something. They wouldn't have came there and seen that the kids were well taken care of. All the kids loved being at the house with me.
Investigators later revealed to Adam multiple people saw Harmony with a bruise on her face, which Adam chalked up to just being hearsay, but still refused to speak about Harmony.
I can't sleep until I know that she's okay. And I know that you know where she is or what happened to her, but I can't do it without your help. And if you don't want to look like this f***ing animal, because I don't think you are. Not that I don't think you are, I know you aren't. But I can only do so much for you, man.
I know.
I'm begging you to help me. Because as much as you're hurting inside, I'm also hurting inside. And I don't know how you can sleep at night because I'm sure it's eating the shit out of you. Am I wrong?
No, it's eating me apart. I know I'm not seeing my wife, I'm not seeing my kids. You guys are just playing games. Like, this is just...
Dude, but I'm not trying.
We're not trying to play games again.
Can you make me a promise? Like, man to man? Can you tell me that she's alive?
You're gonna play the same word games that you played with me the other
No,
day?
it's not word games.
I got nothing
Because
else
we
to
care,
say.
man. We want to know.
This isn't gonna go anywhere. Like, this isn't gonna stop. So
No,
you
I
know.
know it's not.
So
So
either get on the bus now or get run over.
I got nothing else to say.
And here's what else we know surrounding Harmony's disappearance, now presumed murder. Harmony was born in June of 2014 while Adam was in prison. Her mother, Crystal Sorey, at the time was her sole caretaker. Between the time Harmony was born until January 2018, she was removed from her mother's care 3 times because of neglect and her mother's drug use. In July of 2018, Harmony's mother lost custody of her because of drug addiction, and she was placed in a foster home. By February 2019, Adam gets out of prison and was granted legal custody of Harmony by a family court judge. But a couple months later, everything changed. Around Easter of 2019, Harmony's mother says it was the last time she spoke with and saw her daughter. In July of that year, Child Protective Services reportedly received an anonymous call alleging abuse after the caller reported seeing Harmony with a black eye. Between July and October of 2019, Child Protective Services made several visits to the home Adam, Kayla, Harmony, and their other children lived in. They ultimately concluded the abuse was unfounded, but the family was at a risk for future child welfare concerns. Investigators believe Harmony was killed in early December. In January of 2020, Adam told a Child Protective Services worker Harmony was living with her mother in Massachusetts and had been since Thanksgiving of 2019. Then a whole year goes by, no sighting of Harmony. By November of 2021, Harmony's mother called police to report that she hadn't seen her since Easter of 2019. Police then questioned Adam on New Year's Eve of 2021. On January 4 of 2022, Adam was arrested and charged with second-degree assault, interference with custody, and endangering the welfare of a child. His estranged wife, Kayla, was arrested 2 days later for theft. She was released from jail in May of 2022, then a month later arrested on perjury charges, accused of lying during her grand jury testimony. She was released a few days later, then rearrested again in September, where her bail was revoked. By August, the state's attorney general announced the investigation is now a homicide investigation. And 2 months later, Adam was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. In November, his estranged wife, Kayla, pleaded guilty to perjury and in turn must fully cooperate in any future proceedings, including testifying in Adam's murder trial. And in another twist, his defense attorneys are seeking to sever the charges against Adam into separate trials, meaning one trial for the assault charges, another on the murder charge. A judge denied that motion in January. To this day, Harmony's body has still yet to be found, prompting investigators to establish a tip line to help authorities find her. Adam has remained behind bars since his January 2022 arrest and will remain there due to his firearms conviction. Jury selection for his next trial is slated to begin on February 6th. Reporting for Law&Crime, I'm Elizabeth Milner.